So I'm not 100% thrilled with the terms in which I'm explaining this. It's funny how utterly simple and obvious it is when you see it, and yet sometimes to explain it, you have to come up with some really crazy analogies or just use some vocabulary words that you don't feel like everybody should have to know. Or make up your own words, which I know people in my life have a real problem with that. But so if there's a better term to explain this, please let me know in the description, but hopefully you get what I mean here. So every time you have a thought that says something like, if that happened to me, I would be so miserable. If that happened to me, my life would be over. If this doesn't work out, I will feel this way. What you have to realize is that thought now is essentially a microcosm of the entire thing. All of the suffering projected out into the future is present in that one thought. And if you would see that in that one thought and see your power to drop it, you would be free. You would be completely liberated. When we believe thoughts as thoughts that feel discordant, not thoughts that are creating, not, oh, I'd like to paint my wall yellow thoughts, we suffer because we feel the resistance, we feel the guidance. It is ourselves, it is our emotional guidance, and it's not necessarily suffering. The suffering is in continuing to think, and that continuing to think is a standoff with ourselves. There are not two of us. We would never consciously believe that there are two of us, and yet everybody has sort of accepted, eaten, and digested, and taken in, and become this belief in some way that they are a separate self. World, you, that's two. Sounds crazy, sounds nuts, doesn't it? But really, it's the thinker, which is just a thought, and the I can think myself. So I can judge myself, and I can judge myself in a way that feels very, very bad and very lacking, and I will continue to feel this way because it's true. We're at a standoff with ourselves, and we, as if we were standing in a mirror with a gun drawn, always have to be the first one to drop the gun. The reflection won't do it because there aren't two. It's all you. And we can always find the feeling place of everything, of what we want. If somebody we really love has shunned us, has exiled us, won't forgive us, we won't forgive them. We can find the feeling place of utter reconciliation, unconditional love, unconditionally. We can do that for ourselves, so to speak, and that's dropping the gun. We cannot love, we cannot create, thinking that in the future that feeling that we want so badly is going to be found, and while we're willing to suffer in the present. We can't create anything if we have to know it's gonna be great, or we have to know that we're gonna be great at it, and not just enjoy the process of not knowing how it's done. We can't wait until we know how something is done. Until we do it, we have to do it. Don't wait. Drop the gun. Drop the second eye. Don't wait for somebody to get you. Don't wait for someone to understand you. Don't wait. Just love. You came here to love. Don't leave with any of it left. Don't wait. Don't wait for it to come to you before you give it. It doesn't matter if everybody hates you And you cannot focus on anybody and appreciate or find any love. Then look at the sky. Look at a plant. Look at a tree. It doesn't matter what to the appreciator and the appreciated, because there are not two. That's all that matters. The feeling is all that matters. It seems like nothing will get done if we sit in meditation. It seems like nothing will get accomplished if we don't go and do it. If we don't go and do it with the discord, trying to get that in the future. And yet, we're at a standoff, and that is exactly why nothing gets done. If we think of ourselves as lazy when we're having a moment where we're not doing what we think we ought to be doing, rather than appreciating the fact that we're doing something fun, or we're doing something that we want to be doing, or we're resting, or we're thinking, or waiting for the inspiration of what the best thing to do is. Instead, if we think about what a lazy person we are, and think of all the reasons we might have in upbringing, or how horrible this will be in our life, again, a microcosm, that thought happening now. We do not realize our power. Are we afraid of our power? Not to shoot the gun, but to drop the gun. All your power is present now. Now is all there is. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to look flashy. You don't have to get what you want. All you have to do is focus towards it. Get unconditional. Why would we think that by not telling the truth, by lying to somebody, that it would be better for us? Because we totally overlook our own power in the now. We throw it completely away. In the desire to be invulnerable, we shun and cut off our vulnerability. And that's exactly what we become. Just like the wall behind me looks yellow because it's absorbing every single wavelength of color of the white light of all potential and reflecting and rejecting yellow. We appear as what we reject. There are not two. This exists for color. This exists for creation. It does not exist for suffering. The suffering is the indicator that it is not true. Even if it happened, even if it is true on that level, it is not true. It is showing your focus now, your power now is telling you it is not true. Why would you continue to think that you are lazy? There is not the thinker and the thought. There is not that separation. You cannot judge. You cannot even judge another. When we believe we know another is the way they are, we're taking a shot. That standoff. But like a shot with a camera. We're taking an image and we're holding that image. And we're completely forgetting and we're completely killing the alive being. We cannot judge other than the awareness of seeing something as it is. We cannot judge and feel the discord and be who we are, the unconditional love.